Welcome back, everyone, to the Winter Champions Invitational featuring Rocket League here with League OS. I'm Hail Monkey Man in the booth alongside Chixa. And Chixa, we've had a fantastic set of matchups so far as League OS has been powering this entire national competition. But I think there's one extra person that we need to get the eyes and ears and the thoughts thereof. That is, in fact, Marty Weatherall, the CEO of LOS. Marty, now that you've seen some of the competition, we went through 3 rounds of round robin play. How do you feel about the talent that you've witnessed tonight?
It was crazy. You guys did a fantastic job on the call. We had a little switcheroo in the first round. But the 4 teams that have emerged are notable, to say the least. We were just sorting out the seeds. I'll let you guys explain all, but I'm really excited to see this both semifinals, and see who emerges to the end. Again, this was a dream to see, once we had all these states lining up, what would happen if we played the states against each other, interstate competition. It's finally happening tonight with Rocket League, Wednesday with Valorant. So I hope everyone watching now will come back Wednesday night, same time, to see the Valorant competition. There's actually 8 teams playing in that, but we got the final 4 here in Rocket League. Somebody's gonna come away with the title, the bragging rights. And I believe Texas is in the mix, and I think both of you guys have some Texas. I don't know if there's going to be any. I'm just going to watch you guys and make sure there's no, homerism going on here. But anyway, you guys set it up, but thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, I appreciate it, Marty. Thank you so much. And Chixa, I think he's very much on point. We got to see a lot of teams rise and fall, and it's been a heck of a round robin. But now we advance and we go to the bracket stage.
Yeah, I mean, those 4 teams that we mentioned that are advancing are going to be Snider, Deer Creek, Geyer, and West Catholic. Interestingly enough, our 1 and 2 seeds went undefeated. They went 3-0, and then everyone else, we didn't have a single team that went 2-1. It was all 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and unfortunately, Limashani as well as Buchanan were the 2 to get eliminated. Limashani eliminated just purely off a game win percentage. Only 29% of their games won, while the other 3 and 4 seeds were 43% apiece.
Yeah, that coming down to that narrow of a margin, it's got to feel tough. It's got to feel rough. But you know what? That is how those tiebreakers go. And that also means that you just have to fight a little bit harder, longer, stronger going into your other competitions. Take care of what you got to do in your state and then bring it into those nationals. And that's not going to be the last time that we get to see both Buchanan as well as Limashani. Obviously, a lot of power into their offense. But this is also going to be one of the first times that you're going to see these other squads. As you did mention, both Snider and Geyer didn't show up, at least on broadcast, for our round robin, but Snider, who went 3-0, they're going to be going against West Catholic, who we've seen a couple times already tonight. And I think you and I can agree, after seeing how they kind of struggled against Buchanan and kept that so close, a team that went 3-0 in Snider is probably going to be a titan to have to deal with.
Yeah, a team that went 3-0 and hasn't dropped a single game, to say the least. The only one with 100% game win percentage right now. And Snider also going 6-0 in their regular league in Indiana. So this team tends to not lose series, let alone they had a single game loss throughout their season. So I'd be very surprised if Snider drops some more games today, since I think they're kind of a stranger to defeat.
Yeah, and that's both a great and terrible thing in my eyes. I'm not an esports coach by any means, but whenever I kind of think about it, I like getting players that know how to fight through adversity. And I'm not saying that I want any squad that I maybe ever future have lose, and maybe they're like, hey man, it's just about dubs. But I like a dirty record, which involves a little bit of loss. Maybe not of series losses, but game losses, to remind you there's still more improvement to be made and to just make yourself continuously improve. But there are some teams that are untouchable, some teams that want to be flawless, and if you can handle the brevity as well as the responsibility and the weight of that target on your back, you will have very strong shoulders. We go into best of 5 semifinals, and one of these teams will be fighting all the way through 3-game wins. They get to go to the finals of this Winter Champions Invitational.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Semifinals are upon us, which also means best of fives. We've only seen very short best of threes today, and often in those situations, it's really hard to kind of get out of momentum swings. It's way more difficult to try to come back essentially in a series. But with a best of five, even if you drop game one, even if you drop game two, you definitely could still win 3, 4, and 5. There's a lot more time to come around, and Snider is showing off first.
Kaiser gets a great rip on target, and then inside of the first 16 seconds is just going to let them know that they are here to play. Snider of the Panthers, they want to showcase that their offense, or at least just full control of the pitch, is going to be why they have been just untouchable. Teams that can do that, I mean, they are scary beasts. And you said it yourself early in the broadcast, there is talent all the way down into even the middle school range, and these high schoolers, they want to showcase how good they are.
Heller off the corner, tries to get things going. Naz takes this instead. Oh my goodness, I forgot to shout out Snider's team a little bit before we even got in this one. Kind of forget we haven't seen them yet, but I mean, they're kind of proving themselves why they are as good as they are. As we see there, Kaiser kind of the one scoring on that pitch, but he is a GC1 senior, 1472. Naz is a GC2 senior, 1541, and Z6 clone is a 1276 C2 senior as well. So that kind of makes up the Snider roster.
This is a full set of seniority, which means that there is going to be a lot of build and rebuild to have to occur, at least maybe into a varsity level. Not sure of the exact kind of makeup of the identity that is this Snider program, but if you have these 3 seniors and they have been this good for this long, especially over the course of this season, that means that you're going to have to make sure that that leadership develops going into the next spring. Another try, another one picked up Keller defensively, but Kaiser always hungry for the back of the net.
Naz taking this up off the corner, trying to make something happen. Gets a nice shot off here. Funny Face wasn't ready, but Keller luckily able to save on the goal line. Scorpion now off the corner himself, sends it forward. He's been the man to look out for. This one bounces just off the mark. Funny Face comes on through, puts it down. It's off the bar, falls off the backboard as well. And give your hand up for Funny Face here on this play.
You know what? Maybe making funny looking faces, but he's making good looking shots, especially when they get the defense to sprint out past the post and they can finish it off themselves. That one dangerous, and finally get something on the board for the side of this West Catholic Falcon offensive. And that's really, I mean, great, because that's the youngest player in the lobby as the sophomore for between all of these squads. Got to see if even more depth can develop as now you finally get this Snider group pinned in.
I mean, if we want to talk more about grade level, there's only 3 sophomores in this entire tournament. So you're mainly seeing just juniors and seniors playing. It's kind of crazy to think about how most of these players are on the older side of the high school, but it doesn't mean that we haven't seen each player, whether senior, junior, or sophomore, play to incredible capabilities. So really cool to see the different kind of, I don't want to say age ranges, since you could still be the same age in different grades, but the different grade levels show themselves today.
Oh, double commit defensively. And you're very much correct. It kind of is a wide range of that kind of that judgment you get initially from your rank, and then when it comes to actual skill. And you can see that from a traditional esports side, or traditional sports side, then to an esports side, as you know, sometimes they get the nod to the senior simply because they've put in the time, but recognizing that some of that skill exists at a previous grade level really is neat to then have them called up. Less than 90 seconds to go. The challenge right now is, can the West Catholic Falcons be able to get beyond this defense? It's a bit sturdier. That one will fall at least to the back corner errantly, but another big win. Naz wins the 50, and it's a foot race in a 2v2 downfield.
The corner, Naz finds this touch across the net. This one gets poked on out. Funny Face catching Naz the challenge. Scorpion backboard sends it off into the corner. More pressure coming from Kaiser and the rest of the Snider squad. Naz backboard, a miss here. Can he find the backflip? No, he jumps instead. That was beautifully set up for a backflip goal. The connection isn't made, and now Kaiser and the rest of the Snider team still looking to put more pressure on upfield, at least burning the clock time that's left.
Every second, very precious. And remember, we went from best of 3 to best of 5. Game 1s can be a little bit wacky. This one has actually been very measured. Kaiser, though, they've been able to really be at the helm, gets the 3 out of 5 from distance. And this one just kind of falls from crossbar.
Yeah, just slots itself underneath. Sometimes they bounce off, and sometimes they bounce just underneath and on in. So that's all that ended up happening. And now West Catholic again searching for a way to get in this series again. Demo from Naz, a touch here, won't go on through. The entire West Catholic squad kind of struggling to get the ball out of their house, half, whatever it is. Their half is their house, and it's been broken into now multiple times in this one.
We call that a fun-loving B&E, as that one will see the ground coming up quicker, and the Snider Panthers staying perfect so far, as they will take game number 1. It wasn't too authoritative, but when you look to the shooting line, you definitely see at least the makeup of what made Snider successful. And it was Kaiser with the 2 early scores, and the third one really cemented after they were winning so many of those challenges in the defensive box of the Falcons. But they did at least have one highlight reel kind of position there, Chicksa, as Funny Face got them on the board, but they got to do it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think definitely a goal that will forever play in my book. I have a hard time thinking we're going to beat that goal just with the way that it kind of bounced and he fell off the backboard to hit it today. But, you know, Snider's still playing a wonderful game. Again, doubling the amount of shots of their opponent is something that we've seen today that tends to lead a lot of these teams in success. Even if you have a great defensive team like West Catholic, you can't allow your opponent to have so many opportunities.
We're going to advance to game number 2. Now remember, best of 5, so this becomes the definition point for me, Chicksa. What happens in this game will really reflect a lot for the remainder of this series, because we either get to be in a 2-0 position in favor of Snider, or we get to an all tied up sort of shindig, a great bouncer, and that ends up coming out. Great save.
Scorpion sends this one across. Keller to it first. Is it going to waterfall down? It does, and Scorpion gets that read. Still stinging as much as ever. Great overall shot.
And that was a great set and steal by Keller. Naz did not find it as well as they could from the side post. And Scorpion, we've seen them dialed up to 11 at times. And this time around, seeing that their squad is behind and knowing this is just single elimination now, you'd have no extra chances. Scorpion has to do exactly what they're doing now and more.
Scorpion. Back wall, eyes on him. Z-Clone can only send it out to Keller, who is waiting there. Temo by Scorpion. Can't do much with it. Funny Face only finds a little bit of contact. Kaiser taking his time, still no touch. Scorpion. Dangerous territory. That almost sets up Naz, but a great save by Keller to allow upfield pressure.
Keller and Scorpion looking for that same kind of link up. We've seen all of one goal so far. It rests on the side of the Falcons. West Catholic has done a fantastic job of making sure to not be caught unawares or surprised by the Panthers like they did in the early onset of game number 1. Kaiser has been slightly ineffective, mostly just contained. You see how Keller already is looming a field onward. That's a massive flick. They get it beyond Funny Face, and that puts Scorpion on an island with the second man a little bit too far back, and this becomes a chance to just keep this offense cemented upfield for the Falcons.
Drop down here for Funny Face. Maybe sets up Keller. Backboard Scorpion looking to finish. Stellar shot towards the right side, and that's the second goal for West Catholic.
A bouncer takeaway, and then Keller gets a piece, as you can't let Kaiser get a touch to it. And it's one of those things here, Chixa. You see the best player in the room, and you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, they did a great job. Just keep the ball away from them. It feels unfair, but if they don't get to play with it, then you're having a good time.
Yeah, I think something I'd like to note that we've seen a lot of today is that backboard defense that needs to be better on point. So many shots have been allowed because of the offensive touch towards the backboard and the follow-up shot coming on through. That's something at even the highest level of play, it gets shut down over time. You can't allow opportunities off the backboard, and taking advantage right now is West Catholic.
Oh, and they're gonna get demoed straight on that back line. But yeah, it's a tough thing to kind of get into your repertoire if you're uncomfortable about doing it. At this level of play, it's a bit more just innate. It's kind of built into your identity, at least into your rank in this game. A nice pickup, Naz. Oh, it doesn't matter. Not gonna hit anything else except the back of the net. Finally, the Panthers strike.
Yeah, great pass, infield pass to Naz, who gets it just over 2 defenders. You can't be any more clinical on a shot like that. Now, halfway through this game number 2, Snider that much closer to tying up this game back. West Catholic played a beautiful 2.5 minutes. Can they finish off the 5 minutes in this game, take the victory?
Naz and Kaiser kind of double committing, and you're seeing the same thing, Scorpion! Oh, man. He got an extra N at the end of his name because these things are always going in. Naz gets an accidental touch as he gets that corner boost, and Scorpion is going to handshake, thank him, pat him on the butt, and get out of there, and they get this back up to a 2-goal diff.
Wow. That's all I got to say. Wow, wow, wow. Scorpion has, I don't want to say become a favorite already, but certainly someone you keep your eyes peeled for because he makes the plays that matter. I just love the chemistry of this West Catholic team at times, but Kaiser and the rest of Snider still not going down without a fight. There's still plenty of time left on the clock, and only now a 1-goal difference again.
2 highest ranked players right there finally getting a link up, and Scorpion was hoping as they brought that one to midfield they would get a bump onto Naz. Naz very timely on their jump and dodge and pass to Kaiser, who has been muted through this entire conversation. You would swear they said, and it's been like that for a while, but finally getting loud, getting proud, and finally getting them within 1 again. There's only 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, a lot of West Catholic fans in chat, and I think it's something I don't want to assume, but maybe some people didn't know, but compared to the rest of the schools in the tournament, they're about 1/4 to 1/5 the size. So a much less, I don't want to say like talent pool, but student size to go off of to make a Rocket League roster. And yet here they are still playing with the best of the best in, of course, the high school sphere of competitive Rocket League. And that's really cool to see.
I mean, that means whoever you do have, that is a tight-knit fraternity of players that are going to just live, breathe, eat, and just do everything they can to improve. Since you don't have the major population to really pull from, you got what you got. And luckily for them, they have some really talented and really effortful students at the helm of this program. Kaiser with a chance in a 1v2, trying to set it up. They get it past a 1. They're looking for the double. They actually get caught in traffic and transition with their teammate. And if 20 seconds goes by and we maintain this scoreline, Chixa, we can see this finally go to a tied series. Funny Face has to find a pick, and they do.
Oh, bump here for Kaiser, but getting in the way is somebody else. Not 10 seconds left. Naz looks to set up a play again, just a little bit too strong on the initial touch. Can he get it past 1? He can. Kaiser gets beat here. Keller, a huge clear out, and West Catholic to take game 2.
Doing Michigan proud. They see one Michigan faithful fall, and this one rises as Snider finally being reminded about what being mortal is, as they will drop a game in this competition. And that means we go from BO5 to BO3 heading into game number 3. I don't think that we could downplay at all, or maybe even overstate what Scorpion really brought to the table in that game there, Chixa.
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to West Catholic. They brought the second game loss of the fall season to Snider here. So that is a difficult feat. Like we mentioned, this team seems untouchable at times, but they stuck in this entire series. Every time Snider gave a little bit more, they bounced back. They found a way to score themselves. Now we find ourselves in that 1-1 range. A best of 3 is left in this best of 5. And whichever team wins gets to go on that match point.
All right. So sometimes you go to a field with no crowd. You get to play patient. Where everyone first started. We go to Beckwith Park in game number 3, and golf claps all around for the respect that has to go to both of these programs. And you got to think at this point, Chixa, Kaiser was just not allowed to play very often. They had 1 goal, whereas they found a triplicate of the same, and Funny Face, a player we highlighted early on in this competition, makes first hater.
One of the youngest and continually showing that he can be such an effort to the rest of his team with his older teammates, doing a great job, making, I think, maybe the most important plays at times, whether it be some crazy goals upfield or starting it off to give his team some momentum. He may not be as consistent as Scorpion is all the time, but he is there when it matters.
I'm just able to apply some of those extra mechanic flair that really does find great looks. But Clone, I've been waiting for the Clone drone in the danger zone to really find themselves a chance. They're able to find at least a topper, and Kaiser with the setup. Clone never went too far, not giving up on that offensive attempt, and they're going to tie this one up early.
Early lead taken away in this game number 3. It feels like it's going to be a very back and forth game, and not surprised to say the least. Both teams understand they've got a feel for each other. They know what to expect. They know who's him and who does what. Funny Face, I almost thought that was an own goal, but it wasn't. But at the end of the day, we're not going to worry about it because a couple shots, a couple misses, and it's just a minute down on the clock.
Like most of my friends try to say, if you don't know what you're doing, how will the opponent know what you're doing? So chaos theory in full bloom at times, especially as Rocket League tends to evolve in that manner. Scorpion tackles onto Naz, and that's going to go into a, I guess, a seemingly favorable 50. Kaiser looking for 1 extra attempt, but this does become a West Catholic clear. And the problem is that they've been using all of their resources to get upfield to then get their offense going, but this has been a much feistier group on the side of the Snider Panthers as they set up another one. What a save on a Funny Face, and maybe a foot race to win it. Oh, they can't get first touch.
Yeah, Funny Face, his defense has also been just as great as times. A really great save there, a much needed one for West Catholic, and now they're able to get out of their half with the help of Keller, who puts a shot on target that in fact Snider wasn't ready for, and just like that, West Catholic has the lead.
I'm looking over towards Naz, and Kaiser had first run of it. Oh, they backflipped. Naz was setting up. He actually swept to corner because he just was like, hey, you hit me, you've got a free look at it. And that A button, X button, whichever button, maybe even a space bar, just completely subverted what was that expectation. So regardless, Falcons, they grabbed this lead.
Kaiser hoping to get something started for his team. Z6 off the backboard, Naz as well. Trying to figure out who to look for on the side of Snider. Who is the person to get things going, to facilitate that upfield pressure? But I don't feel like anyone has stepped up in this game number 3 so far. There's no one I'm looking at that like, yeah, they're going to get something going. They're going to find a crazy goal. They're going to do it. Instead, they're all just kind of equal.
And you want some of that, and maybe some of the difference comes through more of the comms. If you all have equal effort and equal skill and ability, then just simply key up your man and then turn into some of these more balanced just situations, especially. But it has been poking and prodding and looking for more. West Catholic is able to continue forcing the defense from Snider to answer. Naz and Kaiser caught unawares.
A third goal for West Catholic. And that's what I mean. Like, you can point out West Catholic players at this point, whether it's Keller now putting kind of a show on this game, but we've seen Funny Face so many memorable plays in your head. Scorpion, who has done just that, and it's not because we've seen this team more often than the other. Of course, Snider, this is their first time on stream today, but it's just even the impact at the beginning of this series. It's West Catholic that's showing up, that's showing me who to point out on the field.
Man, you know what? It's easier to score when there's no defense. Funny Face reading Scorpion's mind after we got a great demo out of Keller. And then that just went topsy-turvy. He's like, oh, hey, you missed. You dropped your pocket and then put it through into the back of the net. 4-1. Less than 90 seconds remaining here in game number 3, which, by the way, reminder, this is now going to be match point for whomever comes out the better of it. And you got to feel like it's been a shock and awe campaign against Snider as they've been kind of roughed up offensively. It looked like they woke up, but they've been put right back to sleep, right back to bed.
This one, sidewall, quickly taken away by Funny Face. Keller, upfield, Funny Face, the follow-up off the corner. Maybe someone else to give an effort. Naz instead picks up. Can't beat Scorpion, who's in that midfield. Almost looked like he was going for a demo before the car went into the net. Keller back forward. Follow up for Scorpion on target, saved by Naz. Another 50. Could this be a breakaway opportunity? But a great touch by Scorpion into the corner. Shot though, quick on it. Just off the mark, and a save by Keller to deny Snider again.
What a great read. Keller was able to break that one up after the initial beat on the second defender, but they come in big. That goes crossbar, but Funny Face gets the takeaway with 20 seconds and now much less. You've got the Falcons. We've seen a lot today on broadcast. Gonna be potentially running this in and running it out in game number 4. They go 4-1, reminding the Panthers what it's like to lose now twice. Scorpion, the senior, Keller, the defensive savant, and Funny Face doing funny things. We go to game number 4, and they're gonna have the Falcons on match point.
Whew. Whew. That's all I can say. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. West Catholic completely outshooting their opponent. Still defensive masterminds. Very creative on the offensive end when it comes to a variety of shots. I'm impressed. That's to say the least. They're beating a team in Snider where, guess what? This ain't round robin anymore. You lose and you go to a third place match. That's about all you have left for you. There's no second chance. There's no double elim. You can't face the number 1 opponent.
No, yeah, and you got to think there's a lot of war room style outlooks being observed as well by both of our other squads, waiting to see how this one will all temper out. But you know what? Best of 5s are here for a reason. Game number 4, it could be a bouncing point for the Panthers. Can they get into this, get their offense running? Well, they have to get beyond the green wall of West Catholic. We'll be able to go forward. 5 minutes to go.
Ooh. Alrighty. Chat has a lot of love for both of the teams on the field right now. We'll see who comes out on top in this game 4. Starting off early was, of course, the likes of Snider, but quickly fighting back West Catholic is Funny Face. Not much boost, caught on the wrong side of rotation. This ball, though, left towards the other end. Kaiser sets up here, but Funny Face sends it out off the wall. Naz, the corner, reads. Scorpion picking it up. Naz back on it. Follow up here for Kaiser. Will go underneath. Then an early lead for Snider in game 4.
Been someone missing, and it's been this 1-2 combo. Keller, oh, that's a rough position. They had to immediately climb the near side post and then have to cross and jump out in front of the crossbar. And when you have that kind of downward bounce, especially that Naz can accurately put into that defensive box, then you have Kaiser just all keyed up. So good looks on these 1-2 combinations. They're already trying to do it again.
Naz looking towards the backboard. This one, though, taken away by Scorpion, who's demoed for his efforts. Corner for Cyclone. Z-Clone. Whatever it is, Clone. I see you. I'm sorry. Naz corner. And off the ceiling, trying to set up a teammate, but instead Funny Face to come on through and send out the clear.
They had so many really good 50s, especially just kind of going all in on it in that previous game. And a great look by Scorpion to shut out Naz because they were just waiting. Their car was parked. It was just hanging out. It was waiting for what to be received. But even as they get it handed off, the defensive response right now out of the Falcons has been very good. Defensively, they've been sound. But if they get demoed out of the way, we're going to start seeing some extra opportunities for Snider.
Ooh, Kaiser. Corner, Funny Face holding on. Still West Catholic searching for their first goal in this one. A dangerous pop for Scorpion. This one saved by Keller on the backboard, and Scorpion gets a good clear out for West Catholic. Naz sidewall bounce here, sent towards the other end. Keller will have to pick up, gets a good cut, sets up Funny Face to send it towards the back wall. I wish it would have been on target. I know that could have been a shot. Scorpion, though, tries to slot it. Follow up here, quickly taken away by Naz.
Great second looks right now as Snider is playing just simply with a 1-point lead, and West Catholic has very much been poking at them. They did this before. They were able to get the defenders to finally be baited out and rotate, but that time it was far more disciplined. They don't get caught by just looking at the first man and their initial first touch. That one's going to go sidewall, but it's an unfavorable bounce for West Catholic. They'll get bodied out of the way, and this becomes much more of an offensive look, at least for a brief time, by Snider. Much of this neutral zone style kind of give and take. Scorpion will win the corner. The boost is stolen out, and now they find another massive clear.
Oh, almost a crazy angle for Z6, Kaiser. The side wall, dropping down, Funny Face towards the corner. Gets stuffed by Naz. Scorpion will do a second effort here, but again, another clear out for the team in Snider. Very, very close game. It doesn't seem like anyone is really taking the reins. Snider, very patient, will allow this one to go on out if that's what just ends up happening. Shot here, again taken away. Naz still looking. It's popped kind of towards his wall, but easily saved by his teammate because the rotation's strong for Snider right now.
Lying on sure hands. Oh, Keller, making sure a 50-50 won't be found. And this becomes just all up to Kaiser. As long as they come away with at least some partial bit of grass, they should be fine. They're going to be able to supplant this one again to the back wall, and Scorpion has to reset and restart, and they're not going to have a lot of boost, especially because the midfield is stolen out from them, and that becomes a resource battle and issue. Keller over to Funny Face, and it has just been non-stop possession wins, and every time they want to start, they just find it a little bit too loose. 35 seconds to go. This could just be a 1-0 win.
That's crazy to me. We've seen everything but like a very low scoring game. Now, a demo though by Funny Face. Look, I gifted this pass. It bounces off the corner. Can't find the touch here. Keller looking to set up Scorpion, who's waiting in midfield. Gets the demo there. Gets the shot down. Who other than Scorpion to find the goal that's needed?
It was, I believe, Funny Face that got the demo on the third man. The missing component, finally, to get this offense rolling. It's the physicality. Getting a demo when they needed it the most. This became a sleeper of a game as nearly everyone was nodding off production and crowd, but suddenly they're on their feet. We're tied at 1, and this could be late-term scoring that becomes elimination. Keller doesn't get a piece of it. Kaiser looking to get the win in here in regulation. Funny Face just wants to shut it down to the ground, and we do. We go OT. Game 5 is where Snider has to go to get themselves a series win. West Catholic trying to get it done right now.
Naz has a good look here. Gets the shot off to Zeke Low. No, is that one on target? All 3 players of West Catholic caught up together, but they end up not getting scored on, at least for now. Naz gifted this one. It's off the mark. A good touch by Funny Face, making the most clinical touches when it matters the most. Z6 off the corner. Naz back pass to Kaiser. That's an open net to work with. What a save by Keller on the pre-flip.
Oh, but but still they're under fire. There's the smoke, there's the range, and there's the clear. They get a 50 at the midfield line. Naz over to Kaiser, the 1-2 combination that's always been good, but it's snuffed out by Funny Face. They were able to get that takeaway on the initial attack on target, and it goes through. We head to game number 5. It's a battle for survival.
You know, I'm not going to say West Catholic. A lot of people were like, oh, 4 seed coming on in, lowest win rate, yada, yada, yada. Didn't beat this, didn't beat that. But they're still showing out to probably one of the best teams in this tournament right now. Snider, a very formidable opponent, one of the highest MMR ratings. And just like that, they're showing, they're making it close. They're getting things done. This game number 5, it's going to put everything on the line.
Tail of the tape and of the stats, 12 shots to 5, 3 saves to 8. West Catholic was stuck for a predominant amount of time on their own back half, and it was the challenge game for the midfield by Snider that really was able to just snuff them out for a long time. Now, late-term theatrics and those hero moments gave them a good look, but over time, it was much of the same. We go to game 5. Elimination on and available for both sides as we head up into it. Chixa, it's anyone's guess who's going to come out on top.
Ooh, this is only the semifinal match. This is the semifinal first match as well. We still had another semifinal and then the grand finals, but at least whoever the winner is, they get to sit back, watch the other one, see who their opponent ends up being. Certainly a lot on the line at this point.
To the corner as you get much of this uncontested offense. Funny Face just doesn't move. Sometimes being in the right rotational spot is all you have to do with all the effort that stands in front of you. And this is something that has to change if you are West Catholic. The Falcons have been stuck and roosting into their own back corner way too often. And you've got the Panthers that are just trying to drive them there even more. 2v1, power flick on the delay, and they will challenge up and denied by good defense.
West Catholic has some of the best defense that I have seen yet. Every time we think Snider throws a different punch at them, they find a different way to find the save. Pre-flip on over, drop down from wherever is needed. Really great play overall. Brandon, I'm liking Snider, how they keep on bringing different types of shooting now. We've seen them pass. We've seen them kind of bump their way on through. They're bringing more complexity to their offensive field, and that's where we've seen them get now towards the back of the net a couple more times.
Oh, but even with that complexity, it's just timing by this defense out of West Catholic that has been so superb. At times they get demoed, and at times it's looking like that the Panthers are trying for a fake, but they've been able to find that neutral kind of 50-50 territory to just make it a more even effort between both. Funny Face looking to accumulate some small pads, and they're actually looking for a late 50 if they can put that back on target. Scorpion, maybe a doink. That's a great takeaway. It's going to be a back pass to Keller, but it's a bit too far and outside, so that gives a chance for the Panthers to go downfield.
Now Naz looking to set up a shot here quickly. Hook towards the corner, gets a demo. That's 2 demos in a row for the likes of Steiner. Another save by Keller, who continues to put up phenomenal numbers on the mark. Now backboard. Kaiser, a 50. Scorpion for the follow-up. This one taken away from him. Funny Face doing some more. Keller ends up taking it from him, and that could have been a dangerous play, but luckily Pugliese finds itself in midfield and now upfield against the Snider roster.
Getting these more aggressive rotations, especially out of Snider, as they're trying to beeline away from the second man and go towards the third, and then looking to get them out of the way. It's exactly for reasons like that. Funny Face in a premium position, and now it becomes a 2v1. Keller just kind of chucks it forward, seeing what will stick, and they're going to rotate back into the midfield line. They go to the ceiling, and this is going to hop. It's been Scorpion's number called. Can they dive to it? No. Great backboard defense, and Snider, with 100 seconds to go, wants to get back across the line.
Keller pushes this back upfield. I think he might get his own pass, but Naz taking away. Scorpion now trying from the corner. Another save. Wow. Scorpion going for that demo there. Certainly something that both teams have brought to the table.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, what a save! I mean, what more can you say? Keller now with the saver medal. Can you get past him?
Green wall's very thick and very agile, especially as they just work from these outside angles. When you know you're beat, you just gotta work from a different street. Now Clone with a set, trying to get it to Naz. He's gonna work from this low side 50, can't get anyone queued up. Kaiser steps up to the plate with 50 seconds to go. They're gonna chuck it across from bar to bar. They don't go too far because this is gonna be another rotation back from this corner, back inwards. Naz overruns it, Kaiser does too, and now they have to rotate back, but no, Naz will give the Panthers some time. A half-minute remaining. A very nervy Game 5 elimination for this Winter Champions Invitational. The third man in Funny Face is gone, but Keller will find some space.
Yeah, great touch out, but what a beat! This one deflected off towards the corner. Now Keller coming on through. This one up. Clone is on the ceiling, but I don't know if that's the place to be when a clear could certainly be imminent. Kaiser shot on target. Funny Face the save. A little bit bumped, but gets to it. Kaiser, this one to go to the corner. 0-0. Game 5. Semifinals 1. This determines who goes to the Grands.
The first ticket up for grabs, and it could just be one defensive effort necessary. They bump Keller out of the way. It's gonna fly. What a save! Now Scorpion going downfield. The senior looking to outpace the entirety of them, and they take down the unbeaten Panthers. Scorpion takes it to the house.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Just like that, the defense wins games. What is it? Defense wins championships?
Oh.
You know what? West Catholic. Fun the save in Keller to get the shot for Scorpion on transition.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen a defense so strong. Both sides keeping it even at nothing in a very, very tight race in that Game 5 semifinal. And one like iota of that ball didn't make it across the line. We could be speaking a completely different story, and Snider Panthers could be moving on. But West Catholic held their nerve, their ground, and then held up their senior in Scorpion, who wins the final play. Chicksa, that was our first semifinal. We've got another one around the corner. You guys give us a short break, and we will have no breaks from the action as another semi on the other side will be here in just a moment.